Hi everyone, this is Emily Leiphart here for Tailored Expressions, and in today's video I'm sharing 3 cards using the Perk Up Cardmaking Kit. This kit sold out so fast the first time around, but that's no surprise because coffee is a much loved theme. I know you've already seen the kit ingredients, so I'll make this review short and sweet. First is the Perk Up Stamp and Stencil combo, which consists of the rubber cling background and a set of stencils that fill in all the mugs. The background provides the base for the stencils, and there are 3 layering stencils to fill in the mugs and add color. The mini Hug in the Mug clear stamp set allows you to add other details like steam, cute faces, and smaller sentiments inside the mugs. Also included but not shown are the Perk Up coordinating dies that cut out the 3 sizes and shapes of mugs in this background. We also have the Cup of Joe dies, which you can use to cut out larger mugs in 3 sizes. You can use the 2 largest sizes together to create a shaker coffee cup. I love that there are left and right-handed handles for these mugs. The Insider's coffee foiling panels are so much fun for everyday friendship cards, even a card you might want to give to yourself. You don't even have to foil these, but the added shine is always a good thing, and you can buy extras separately. There are 2 amazing sentiment sets, one of which is included in the kit, and that is the Coffee Create Repeat set. I love that these have a mix of 3 different fonts. Any sentiments with a combination of classic and scripted fonts win my heart. The coordinating dies for these are sold separately, and I highly recommend getting them. Finally, we have Simple Strips Coffee, which is another add-on to the kit. Is there any way you can resist these sentiments? I think not. Lastly, in the background you'll see the envelope seals, which are also available for purchase separately. Let's get started on my cards. First, I'm going to stamp the Perk Up background, and I accidentally grabbed avocado instead of olive, so let's pretend that I'm using olive. I stamped the background twice with the help of the Teal Misty and the Just Press tool. I create 2 of these panels since I want to use one as is, and the second one with the Cup of Joe dies. The 3 layering stencils are numbered 1 through 3, so you know the proper order. There are etched lines for each of the mugs, so you can line up all of the images, not just the ones that each particular stencil is filling in. Once stencil number 1 is lined up, I place it in the corner of my silicone mat and start blending with a bitty blender brush. This first color is Dried Fig. I'll use the same stencil for the second panel, but I won't show that on screen. When the second stencil is lined up, I'll switch brushes and use pink champagne ink. For the third and final stencil layer, I use potato chip ink. Now I'll set those panels aside and do some die cutting using the small mug from the Cup of Joe die set. I pulled the coordinating cardstock colors of the inks I used previously, which are olive, dried fig, pink champagne, and potato chip. I'm placing all of the handles on the right side and using a bit of liquid glue to glue all of those onto their respective mugs. I'll be using my favorite from the Insider's Coffee Foil It panels. This definition is hilarious, and anyone who receives this card is sure to have a good laugh over it. I'll be foiling it, but I also wanted to decorate some of the die-cut mugs with a group of beans from the Hug in a Mug mini stamp set. I use VersaFine Clair Nocturne ink on several of the mugs. This detailing will balance the black foiled sentiment. Now I'm going to turn on my mini Minc and set the heat to level 4 for the weight of the cardstock panel. Once the light turns green, it's ready, and I place the panel with a piece of black Deco foil on top and run it through. I know there's not much difference between the regular printed panel and the black foiled panel, but the added shine is enough to make it special. Next, I will arrange the mugs in a pile rising up to the sentiment. Then I take a piece of press and seal to hold the mugs together. I add liquid glue to the back and attach it to the panel. Once it's dry, I can trim off the overhanging bits. Before attaching this panel to a pink champagne card base, I use the 1/2 side of my corner chomper on the top right hand corner for some visual interest and to add softness to the card since there are so many sharp corners on the mugs. Now this card is done. Moving on to the next two cards. I cut two of the larger mugs from one of the stenciled panels. I originally thought I would use them together on the same card, but in the end I just used the larger one. I added dried fig handles to both of them and set the pieces aside to dry. For the full panel, I'm using Nocturne ink and the Hug in a Mug mini stamp set to add faces, hearts, and a sentiment to some of the mugs. I really love that cute cat face with the big whiskers. Next, I take the second and third largest diagonal stitch rectangle stacklets to create dimension on the panel. Originally, I wanted to use the first and second largest sizes, then I thought maybe one would be good enough, which is why I did them one at a time. Normally, I would use both at the same time since creating one after the other would flatten the details a bit on the first run through. After heat embossing these simple strips coffee sentiments in white on black licorice cardstock, I die cut them using the Simple Strips Asymmetrical die. I decided on the middle two sentiments for this card, and they read, "First we drink the coffee, then we do the things." How fun is that? My camera didn't capture the stamping and heat embossing for the strips, so here it is for the third card. I'm using one of the sentiments from Coffee Create Repeat directly onto the base of the card, and I use the anti-static powder tool before stamping and heat embossing. Next, I use the Frame in Frame 3 cutting plate and stacking the frames die cut from dried fig and black licorice to create dimension and a cool shadow. To finish, I pop up the mug with foam tape and glue the frame onto the card. Now all I need to do is add the sentiment strips to the first card and all three of my cards are done. Here's a review of all three clean and simple designs using the Perk Up Cardmaking Kit. I'd love to know which card is your favorite, and I look forward to seeing what you create with the Perk Up Cardmaking Kit. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and be sure you're subscribed for more inspiration. You can find all of these products in the Tailored Expressions web store at tailoredexpressions.com. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you again soon.